the road.
Yeah, as a guest, just as a guest.
As part of the gang to kind of hang out.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'd bring all the comics on. And then in 1986, he said, look, we're going to mornings. You know, we want you a couple of days a week. And we went to mornings. And then he said, wow, you know, we like it when you're here. So within like a month or two, I was on 5 days a week. So from September of 1986 until I left in March of 2001, for 15 years, I was the head writer. And
yeah, well, you know, this is easy for anybody to say, but I really mean this. You made that show. And
you know,
you
you didn't get me hung.
No, seriously.
You know what? I was a spice. You know, you can have a great steak, a little bit of salt, makes a big, you know, he's so great. And I wrote stuff as we went along, but he's brilliant.
Yeah, he is.
Like if you just had somebody that wasn't funny, just reading funny jokes, it doesn't play. But he could seamlessly, sometimes I'd write something horrible about Fred and put it in front of him, and he'd say it about me. Or I'd put something self-effacing about him, and he'd say it about Fred. And he wouldn't, no pre-reading. We're on the fly. Like you're talking to him, and all of a sudden I put this up here, and you like glance at it and put it in the conversation. That's amazing.
He wrote, that is the funniest foreword to your book by him. Oh, my God.
And he said, you know what? Answer these questions seriously. And he sent me 30 questions or 100 questions. And he said, answer them seriously. And I said, I'll be glad to. So he sent me all the questions. I answered them all seriously, and he worked them into the forward. And, you know, just listed, and it was just very fun.
It was great, because he said he did not want to write that forward. He hated it. He'd rather be in front of a pole all day. He won the lottery, but it was, you know, obviously you. Do you want to do a song?
He's a glutton for punishment. What song? I'm not going to do a love song, and I'm not going to do my theme song. You got to watch Jackie. Listen, watch. See, I think I'm a television star now. You got to listen to Jackie's Joke Hunt on Sirius 101. This is from my friend Ian Carr. All right, this is Butch's song. This is you'll see where this was created. Okay. Waiting for the Amtrak in the city of brotherly love. The shows were good as they're ever gonna get, but I just can't get enough. You know, the more they laugh and clap, it seems, the less I can hear. Another day, another joke. What happened to last year? Me oh, me oh, me oh, me oh, me oh, my. Me oh, me oh, me oh, me oh, me oh, my. Well, the road, she always called me the artistic, romantic life. Not the home and the family, a few kids, maybe a wife. Well, now normal's just a dream to me, and talent is a curse. The stage, she's the best, but she's the worst. Me oh, me oh, me oh, me oh, me oh, my. Me oh, me oh, me oh, me oh, me oh, my. I'm gonna pull into McDonald's, find a place online, order a billion burgers, sit and watch them change the sign. New York to Denver, hey, Detroit was in between. Happy maybe half the time, rarely really clean. Me oh, me oh, me oh, me oh, me oh, my. Me oh, me oh, me oh, me oh, me oh, my. In between. Me oh, me oh, me oh, me oh, me oh, my. Me oh, me oh, me oh, me oh, me oh, my.
That was great. That was great. You know,
That's Butch's song.
You sing half decent. I mean, you're not a bad singer.
My friend Butch was a good friend.
Is he alive?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you sound like
he
he's
wouldn't
dead.
drink, and we tried to get him to drink forever, and he wouldn't drink. And he went to Vietnam and came home an alcoholic, and his father blamed me.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But him and his brother Jimmy were my best friends growing up, and their father was a jockey, a championship jockey who won the Triple Crown in 1946 on assault. And he was about this tall. His father hated me. But I love Wari. And that was Butch's song, and that song has about 50 verses. That was the new version that I rewrote when I was going into comedy. I wrote it in 1971, but then in 1980, when I was hooking up with Rodney, like, wow, this is my break into the big time, which was, which is exciting. And wound up doing nothing, but it was great fun.
So what did you do? Tour with Rodney? Or?
I only was away with him for 2 weeks, and so I'm still pulling stories out of my hat about the 2 weeks, But